it's okay. So, okay, just started. So, hello everyone. So, thanks for coming my talk. So, I start to talk the future of library dependency management of Ruby languages. So, I try to speak the story in English. So, okay, at first, so I need to share my introduction. So, I'm Hiroshibata. So, my Twitter and GitHub account name is hsbt. So, please call me Hiroshi. So, I'm working on Gemification, that is a web service company in Japan. So, we have office Fukuoka Prefecture and Tokyo and Kawashima Prefecture. So maybe we start to hiring the Taiwan people in Japan. So if you see our company name in Taiwan, so please apply our hiring paper. So I'm member of RubyConf team. So and the RubyGems and the bundle core team. So and I maintain to try ecosystem of the Ruby languages like Lake and RDoc and Psych and RubyBuild and other tools. So I'm working to develop the Ruby languages every day. This is the inside of Ruby repository of GitHub in last year. So I'm 7th contribution ranking in last year in Ruby languages. And this is a RubyGems repositories one. So I'm #1 contributor in last year. And finally, this is a ranking of bundle repository. So I'm 5th rank in this. So I'm working Ruby and RubyGems and bundle every day, every time. So, but my main work is a manager because I'm a VP of engineering and technical director in Gemification. So my OSS work is totally voluntary time. So I also member of RubyConf. So RubyConf is a programmer community in Tokyo. So we have a preliminary meetup every Tuesday in Tokyo, Japan. So when you arrive at Tokyo, so please join our meetup. So we will attend you to the delicious drink bar and food restaurant and code and discuss with the programming. So this is the today's agenda. So first, how to use library on the Ruby languages. So this is the lecture section maybe for the junior programmers. So what's the standard library? You know standard library in Ruby languages like JSON or path name and logger and any other libraries. So I introduce its details in Ruby core at first. So the standard library is a library installed with Ruby installation with make install command or Ruby build or apt or yum or other package manager provided by Linux distribution. So the standard library needs to call require method defined from embedded class. Embedded class is a string or hash or and other class. So we can call them without a RubyGems and bundler. So the Ruby core team classified 3 categories with the standard library. So there are standard libraries and default gems and bundled gems. So the standard library written in 2 languages. The first one is a C language, the next one is a Ruby languages. We call the pure Ruby libraries. So this table shows the stats of the standard libraries. The default gems and bundle gems are shipped to RubyGems like JSON or Big Decimal or CSV and other libraries. So you can use over the 14% of standard libraries via RubyGems without upgrading Ruby core versions like 2.5 or 2.6. So inside the RubyGems, so the RubyGems are installed by a Ruby installer. The Ruby core team ship them as gems too. So the upstream of default gems are the Ruby repository named Git RubyLang or GitHub. So most libraries are being developed under the Ruby organization of GitHub. So you can confirm what library is default gems used by default gems question methods like this. So OpenSSL is a default gems. If you did invoke the default gems question method like this, so it method returns true. So bundled gems are very different from the default gems. So the Ruby core repository didn't contain their file on the canonical repository located on the GitHub or Git RubyLang roles. So the Ruby installer only put them to your box. So the bundled gems didn't locate under the Ruby organization of GitHub. So in other words, so this bundled gems is an external library that is installed at the same time as installing Ruby interpreter. So these gems, same as normal gem like Rails or Ciatora and other libraries. So now I will explain the current status of package management tool for Ruby languages. So first of all, I would like to describe the RubyGems. The RubyGems is a package management framework of Ruby. The RubyGems was originally developed by Seattle RV and bundled with Ruby interpreter since Ruby 1.9. So RubyGems have two main repositories like this. So first one is rubygems.org. It's the simple Rails application running as a RubyGems official site. Next one is a RubyGems CLI and libraries, as known as gem namespace. So if you encounter some of the issues about the gem push or gem install or other internet issues, so please report the rubygems.org repositories. So if you encounter the namespace of gem or gem command line tools, so please report under the repositories like RubyGems. So many of people are confusing about this. So some people say the DNS issues to the CLI repositories, and many of people are mishandling about this. So what's new RubyGems 3? So RubyGems 3 has been released in last year. So this version is the end of support for the old version of Ruby. So surprisingly, RubyGems 2 still supports the Ruby 1.8 and 1.9. So, and the RubyGems 3 contains a lot of additional features. But commentary on what features have been added and fixed will be omitted in today's presentation because it's very, very large changelog. So, but I need to only introduce one important feature of RubyGems 3. So, it is a two-factor authentication feature with RubyLang. So, this feature has been made possible to prepare since last year. So, but there are many people who have not set yet. So please raise up your hand if you are prepared to factor auth RubyGems.org. Wow, only 3 people. So make sure you set it up now to secure the Ruby ecosystem. So because the RubyGems code team found the hijacking and publish malicious code via the RubyGems or every week. So in this week, a simple captcha tool was hijacking and injecting the malicious code. So if you do not want to set up two-factor auth, so please stop the sharp password or set the strong password. So please set up, please protect your RubyGems org account for the Ruby language ecosystem. So next software is Bandra. So Bandra is developed since 10 years ago, surprisingly. So it resolves the dependency hell with RubyGems and your Rails applications. You know Bandra uses a gem file like this format. So we also released Bandra 2 in last year. So there are also no new features. So it is a big change was that we aim to support the old Ruby version like Ruby 1.8 and 1.9, same as RubyGems. So Bandra 2 has no incompatibility feature with Bandra 1. Yeah, I need to introduce a gamification now. So the goal of the gamification project is the all of standard library was shipped via RubyGems and removing them from Ruby core repositories. So current example for Net, Telnet, and Rake and XML PC can be released independently of Ruby release cycle every year. So there are bundle gems now. So also some overlap with default gems and bundle gems. So you will be able to fix issues or vulnerability in inventory of the release of Ruby core. So for example, so if we found the vulnerability issue of OpenSSL, so we will release new version of OpenSSL with fixes inventory Ruby core releases. So you can use it release without upgrading Ruby core. So it reduces your working time and resolving your Rails or your product. So second, it will be possible to use the new feature of the standard library on the stable version or old stable version Ruby, like 2.5 or 2.6. So for example, CSV or Logger libraries have new feature and improvement performance on the Ruby 2.6, but you still uses a Ruby 2.5, so you can use them with Ruby 2.5 via the RubyGems installation without upgrading Ruby core. So third, final thing is, so by developing default gems and bundle gems on GitHub. So developers who are used the workflow of GitHub used by pull requests can easily to join to development of default gems and bundle gems rather than Ruby core development. So this is a console of gamification. So however, there are some problems with such gamification. For example, there are current issues related to RubyGems and bundler dependency problem. So this will be introduced later. So the Ruby core team will create two repositories. So like our current repository named Git Ruby Lang.org and a repository of under the GitHub. So and the last one thing is default gems with has been targeting only the latest Ruby interpreted version, like Ruby 2.7 in this year. So, but shipped gem on RubyGems needs to support some of old Ruby version, like 2.5 or 2.6. So, gamification project, so reducing your time and development, increasing developer experience, but gamification increasing developing time of Ruby core theme. So here is a list of default gems part A. So the gem list command displays a list of installed gems on your box like this. So you can see a default string like this. So we will promote more ancient library to default gems or bundled gems from our standard libraries. You know, some of ancient library was banned out status. So, but after the default gems or bundled gems, so you can code and fix to ancient library on the GitHub organization of Ruby. So this is half of my talk. So I can talk bundler integration in Ruby 2.6. So at first, why should we integrate bundler to RubyGems on Ruby repository? So this is a questionnaire result as the RubyConf happened April in this year. So when using Ruby, many users first run gem install bundler and py and RubyConf and rspec. So I would like to leave this first installation step and provide the best developer experience with Ruby core standalone. So additionally, I would like to maximize the developer experience as first time to see the Ruby languages. So first of all, RubyGems 2.7 has partly integrated with bundler. This code of RubyGems has been shipped since Ruby 2.5. So, but it's disabled on Ruby core repository like this part, because Ruby 2.5 didn't have a bundler in standard library. So on the other hand, when gem update -- system was executed, the bundler is also installed by RubyGems installer. After that, it environment execute above code part. So as a result, some of the dependency resolution execute by the bundler, not in RubyGems in Ruby 2.5. So we merged bundlers default gems of Ruby core at Ruby 2.6. So at first, I did merge bundler 2 to Ruby core because bundler 2 dropped to support the old version of Ruby. So this is a Ruby 2.6 preview 2. So however, an engineer who Richard worked at Heroku reported in preview 2 with Rails was not working on Heroku platform. So we, especially I, gave up to merge with bundler 2 because we have not enough time to fix these Heroku issues until Ruby 2.6 final release. So I did downgrade bundler 1 from bundler 2 on Ruby core repository. So what happened? So you need to know the bundle version finder to understand why it doesn't work with Heroku. So this is a new feature added since RubyGems 2.7. So this version finder detects a specific version of bundler according to the environment variable or gem file lock if it exists. So Heroku has only one version of bundler. If your gem file lock have version 2 of bundler, Heroku couldn't detect bundler in their platform. So after the releasing Ruby 2.6, so Heroku has resolved the platform to install the multiple measure version of bundler. So as a result, Heroku can use bundler 1 and bundler 2 as well today. So now that it works even if you update your version of bundler 1 to bundler 2, you can safely bump the bundler version of log file with bundler update -- bundler command. So we have other issues. So just first is the issue of load path. So bundler injects its own library path at the first place of load path array variables like this. So this is Ruby 2.5 and bundler 1 like this. So this is fine when normally installed and used via RubyGems. But the built-in bundler causes the downplace issues. So there is a problem that the version of the standard library like a JSON or CSV and psych or other default gems. If you specify some of versions on your gem file, so bundler always detects the standard library versions with default gems of bundler. So this problem was fixed in Ruby 2.6.3. So now in today, so the only issues was resolved. So bundler 1 has been merged at Ruby 2.6, and the dependency resolution is always used with bundlers 1. So today, Ruby 2.6.3 is the best version of the Ruby languages. So built-in bundler is ready to use today. So I will introduce the future plan for the RubyGems 4 and bundler 2.1. So I will add the sum of incompatible feature into the RubyGems 4. These are part of them. So I will introduce them. So RubyGems 4 wants to make conservative option by the default. So this option is an option to not execute again in the already installed the gems like Rails or Sinatra. So if enabled by default, I think that the developers' waiting time will be shorter and the experience will be better because it will not run again. And the next one is a duplication files. So RubyGems and bundler ship a dependency resolution library called Molino. So who are developed by the Samuel. So he talks tomorrow about the Cocoa Pot with Molino maybe. So RubyGems uses the 0.5 version, and the bundler uses a different version of the 0.6. So because of these two versions, they are always installed in your environment and in your servers. So I would like to unify to use 0.6 because we always hope to removing duplicate code. So, and I also want to make the user installation by default, like npm or CAG, that is a package manager of the Rust languages. So for example, when you run gem install Rails with the official package of Linux distribution, you got the error message that is like you need to use a sudo or switch to the root account. So this situation is not good for beginners. For this configuration was already provided, so I'm trying to set this option every day. But I'm troubled with many unexpected bugs of RubyGems, like platform issues and performance regression with a finder of gem spec files. So RubyGems and bundler have big issues related to default gems. So the default gems used by RubyGems and bundler cannot specify the different version of the gems on your gem file. So for example, so if RubyGems loads to JSON version 2, you will not be able to use other version of JSON library in your application. So if these library written by pure Ruby libraries, so rendering strategy can solve them, but C extension couldn't. So it remains as an issue whether to consider the new solution of Ruby languages. So as mentioned above, so we are working on the development for the next version of RubyGems 4 and Bundler 2.1 or Bundler 3. So, but RubyGems and Bundler still have a lot of problems. So we welcome your patch and your code on the GitHub. So the final chapter is a roadmap for the Ruby 3. So RubyGems side. So support JRuby and Turbo Ruby. So also support RubyGems is not running test with JRuby today. So the reason is simply because the test does not invoke with JRuby. So therefore there was a problem that JRuby doesn't work after the RubyGems 3 release in last year. So from now on, I will support to run JRuby and Tofu Ruby developed by Oracle Labs in Oracle Labs. So if you use the JRuby or Tofu Ruby every day, so please run the RubyGems or Bundler test suite. So and please report issues or some of code to the RubyGems repository. So a big step toward integrating RubyGems and Bundler is unifying the GitHub team and organization together. So far, we will develop under the only organizational account under the RubyGems. So also since the repositories for RubyGems and Bundler are also separated today, so we are planning to integrate them like Rails and active support and active record and other stuff. So and to keep the RubyGems bundle command included in the future. So in today, so under the Bundler organization have the five original repository. So in other hand, other repository under the Bundler has been moved under the RubyGems organization today. So it is a future release plan. So first we will merge RubyGems 3.1 or 3.2 and Bundler 2.1 into the Ruby 2.7 final release like this. So I have planned to release RubyGems 3.1 in this summer with Bundler 2. So after that, so in this fall or winter, so Bundler 2.1 has been shipped. So I will merge this version into the RubyGems 3.2, and I will merge this one and this one into the Ruby 2.7, maybe. So we will then upgrade the RubyGems version to 4 and merge Bundler 3 as well in next year. However, it is still TBD status to release Bundler 3 and later as a gem. So maybe you need to only upgrade RubyGems 4 for updating Bundler, because so Bundler 3 or other versions will be merged into the RubyGems. So I need to introduce Ruby core side. So Ruby 2.7 Preview 1 was released May 13 in this year. So this is a main feature of the Ruby 2.7. So compaction GC by Tenderlove, Aaron Patterson. So maybe he will introduce GC compaction mechanism in RubyConf Taiwan. So next one is a pattern matching. So the final one is a next generation IRB experience with relying written by pure Ruby libraries emulated the readline by the Itoyanagi-san. So, okay, this is a promotion movie for the IRB, like this. So syntax highlight, auto syntax highlighting is embedded by the new version of IRB. And multi-line editing for the history. And auto completion for the method, and shows the documentation generated by RDoc and RY on the IRB session. Yeah, what highlighting is completely working. Yes, they changed the final version of the IRB and Ruby 2.7. So this list is a minimal dependent standard library needed to invoke RubyGems and RubyGems command line. So these main remain as default gems at least in the Ruby 3 or Ruby 4. On the other hand, I will extract other standard library like DRB or IRB to bundle gems. I would like to reduce the library in our canonical repositories because we need to import to contributors in the future. So I hope to join you for the contributing and developing the Ruby languages on GitHub or our canonical repositories. So finally, RubyConf was moving to Git from Subversion in this year, finally. So in the past, we couldn't use Git instead of Subversion. We got, why doesn't RubyConf team use GitHub? Why doesn't use RubyConf team Git? So, but in last year, Mats, who are creator of Ruby, he said we should use Git because we care about the original commit or original contributions that was created by contributor. So this year, I and Kokbu, who are author of the Git compiler of RubyConf team, RubyCore, did work to migrate Git from Subversion. So today, we use Git for developing Ruby core languages, but not GitHub. So, but you can use GitHub with pull request. We can keep your commit in our canonical repository named git-ruby-lang.org. And you can submit the pull request to our default gems like CSV or Logger and other standard libraries into the repository of GitHub. So there is a contributor list of Ruby core repository on GitHub in this year. This list includes a lot of contributors without a Ruby core team. So we can involve the many of programmers to Ruby core development today. So you can write a patch or code for developing Ruby core languages to default gems or Ruby core under the Ruby organization of GitHub. So we always welcome to your patch and contribution. So in the future, RubyConf will try to maximize to developer experience for managing your libraries with only Ruby core. In last, I will introduce this sentence format. So Ruby is designed to make programmers happy. So I and team member of Ruby and RubyGems and the bundler team develop Ruby and Ruby for making programmers happy. So I try to make programmers happy. So that's all. Thank you for attending today. Thank you.
Thank you.